We're going. Welcome back to the Bees Like That podcast. As usual, I'm your host Chris, and first I want to take a second to acknowledge that this has been a really emotional week for me and a lot of the people around me. Whether it doesn't matter how we experience each other, me and the people that I'm talking about. It could be, there's definitely a mix. There's, my family, of course, my wife, my kids. And then there are people who we engage more regularly professionally, but also have relationships that go beyond that or extend further than that. And yeah, it has definitely been an emotional week for all of us around the board. And out of respect for anonymity and privacy and the intensely delicate and sensitive nature of some of the main thing that's happened this week, I won't go into it. I mean, that's something that will remain extremely vague. I will say that the beginning of the week felt very, very powerful for a brief time. And then, man, the rest of the week has just been really, really hard. But I am a firm believer that in challenging times, at least for me personally, it helps my daily psychology and emotional regulation to, of course, process whatever intense and larger emotions caused by events, that are going on. Absolutely, to be in those and be present and to process those so that they don't kind of like get pushed down and fester and, cause longer lasting and lingering effects. None that we can deal with now and kind of reduce or mitigate mostly moving forward. But also it helps to balance, like, because you can get lost in that. You can get lost in grief and sadness, and it helps to balance the rest of our experiences with gratitude, right? Because speaking personally, like, it could be a lot worse for me. And seeing what some people are experiencing around me right now, it honestly makes anything that I have going on seem trivial. Doesn't even cut it. I mean, that's not to reduce any intensity of the stuff that I feel, in my experiences, but when you see someone that you care about going through some of the most challenging times, experiencing, what I would call the worst, you're just reminded that gratitude should be held close, because you don't know. Life and everything is just so fragile. And again, to the point that I'm making, we can get lost in the darker things, in the less pleasant things, in the negative, and even me, I have to remind myself, like, I love delivering messages of serenity and sobriety and stuff like that, but while arguing points against things that are valid, right? Like, arguing points that are valid against things that are dangerous, I should say. Remaining in that fight mode, in that fortified mode all of the time, like constantly, and not taking time to slow down and look around at the beauty and the wonder and the serenity and peace that I have in my life. It's no wonder that sometimes I feel exhausted and get a little cranky and testy. And, you know, if I'm being completely transparent, anything untoward that anyone does, meaning being human, is almost grounds for making that person an enemy. And that is not the goal. That is not what we want. That is not what my higher power wants for my life. That is not what I want for my life. That is not what I want for anyone's lives. I do have what I believe to be heavy responsibilities placed on my heart by my higher power to activate in different spaces and be a voice for different things. Not the voice, but a voice for different things. But that I have to remind myself that comes with a reward. You know what I mean? Being a warrior and being a soldier, like, there are rewards that come from that. And I'll be damned, like I've said before, if I don't get a reward for all of the stuff that I've been through and for all of the pain that I've experienced and all of the hard work that I put in to get to where I'm at right now. So it is important to slow down, and you got to set your shield and your sword and your club down, your spear down. You got to take off your armor from time to time. And part of the power of being a fighter is vulnerability, and being able to live in that vulnerability and not shy away from it. And, you know, that is a tremendous area of growth for any person. And I've grown in that area leaps and bounds. I can count on one hand every year the amount of times that I cry in a year. And no, I'm not saying that crying is like, it's not manly, men don't cry, because I think that's ridiculous. I think that definitely training that we get as men makes it tougher for us to emote in that way, and that it sucks that things have to become so intense and frustrating and sad for us that before we can get to a point of having such it's a really magnificent release mechanism, if I'm being honest. I feel a tremendous weight lifted in the times after I have cried and like just released that. And I thank God that He's given all of us that ability to let those stronger things go that are just too big, that we can't with our limited resources internally process. I believe that is why we have that outlet, and it's beautiful. But I have a magnificent life today, and to not take time to slow down and recognize that and to verbalize it and acknowledge it is just plain ungrateful. That's I mean, the long and short of it is just ungrateful. I've got my health. I'm able to sustain myself, my family. I am supremely fortunate to be in a position professionally where every single day I get to literally activate in spaces and for my community and people that in these ways that I get to do speaks directly. These are like the things that you see, the things that I say, and the stuff that you don't see, and the stuff that I do, professionally. These are the messages of my heart, living and breathing outside of me. This is exactly who I am, and I am so grateful that after all of it, that I'm fortunate enough to live, be, and perform well and exactly how I'm supposed to be all of the time. I mean, how beautiful is that, man? It's freaking amazing, man. It doesn't get any better than that. I mean, if it does, I'm down. And I'll definitely lean into it, man. But everything that I do, it may not seem like it, but everything that I do in my life, I get complete or as close to. I don't know if I've ever experienced complete satisfaction, but I feel like I can say that I get pretty damn close because I feel so fulfilled with the stuff that I'm able to do for people. And I don't have to this is what life is supposed to be, right? We give of ourselves willingly and freely, and the rewards that we get for that, we can't be measured, and we have everything that we need, and we don't want for anything, and we're supplied with more energy every single day that we wake up and are given another day to fight the fights that we do and to empower the lives that we do and support the people that we do and establish the lines that we do and push the boundaries that we do and protect the things that we do. It is amazing, man. It is flipping amazing, and I am grateful. I am grateful. And I have really good people in my life. I have phenomenal people in my life, which hasn't always been the case. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, like the stuff that I've been through, it doesn't make it easy to get close to me. Like it really doesn't. So to be able to, and I'm giving grace too, right? To be exactly who I am and to tiptoe into these new relationships and tiptoe into these new experiences and have people there, you know, who've been there, who know what's coming next, who can guide me, right? And something about me, I don't know if you could tell, but I've had to be self-sustaining for so many years of my life, and I mean, making a complete shambles of it for the most part, but still, having to be as self-reliant as I have been for so long, it makes it really tough for me to want to hear anything from anyone. And I think there are a bunch of different reasons for that. I think that partly a resentment toward the world, right? Like from during times when no person, no child should have to be that self-reliant and that responsible for themselves. But I was, and I had to be, and upset that those essential ways that I was forged into the way that into the person I am now caused me to miss things that I get to see my kids do it, which is great. Which is great. Well, and I just realized the blessing there, so I still get to experience it. I just in a different way. And I've got 5 awesome kids, man. You know, they're all healthy, beautiful kids. 2 of them are adults now, young adults now, and I couldn't be more proud. They're all just amazing, amazing people. And how lucky I am to be where I'm at. 5 years clean. I think for the most part, at least on the healthier side of healing most of the relationships in my life, from the wreckage that occurred during my addiction and, you know, some of the less impressive points in my life. I'm just lucky, man. I'm lucky. I get up every day and I have now what I used to dream of having. for most of my adult life, and fuck man, for most of my life, which I call I just want regular ass problems, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just want regular people problems. That's all I want. And now I have them. I'm sitting back and looking at that stuff and just evaluating my life, and I don't know, man. It's a trip, to tell you the truth. It's a wild trip. But circling back to the point, staying grateful, keeping in the front of my mind the beauty and the undeniable fortune that I have in my life today. I have to do that. And I want to serve as a reminder to y'all too. If you're out there, well, I know you're out there, but if you listen to the content and maybe we're wondering where this message is, or feeling like it's been neglected, or that it isn't there or as implied as it should be, here you go. This is what it is. I mean, I wouldn't say that I have life completely figured out, but as far as like this battle of recovery and sitting with myself in my problems and not feeling like I need to run from them and to something else to escape. That's a pretty awesome feeling, man. Pretty awesome feeling. I know for a fact that there are people out there right now who don't have that. And that, again, is one of the reasons why I fight so hard against the more dangerous ideas, that are more popularized today about recovery and some safely and just all this stuff that I just don't see makes a lot of sense for saving lives. Because that's the goal. Spreading a message that's going to save lives. Because everybody deserves to feel how I feel today. Everybody does. And it's in everybody. Any and everybody is capable. I mean, I'm telling you, man. Listen, I am the one that should not have made it. That was written off. But I'm making it. I'm making it. Anyway, thank you. If you didn't do it on the way in, please think about doing it on the way out. Hit that like, subscribe, and post notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of the fun, wacky, zany, life-changing, polarizing, and possibly stuff that's going to make you mad that we talk about here on the Bees Like That podcast. Peace, y'all.